Hello and welcome to the first shot. I hold in my hands Covishield. We're at the headquarters of the Serum Institute in Pune, and with me is the man who literally could be saving millions of lives in India and elsewhere. Adar Poonawala, welcome to the first shot.
We'll take you to the cold rooms and show you millions of doses have been packed and labeled, ready for dispatch.
So what's happening here? I'm very curious to understand the vaccine manufacturing process.
Yes.
So keep explaining as we walk along. What's happening here?
As we saw earlier, it was screened, and before that it's filled. This is the actual filling going on where you've got
This is where they're filling up the
injectors. Yes, the bulk is coming in from the floor above, and then it's filled into these vials. This goes on at 500 vials per minute. So, if we have 10 doses, I'm filling 5,000 doses of COVID vaccines per minute. That's my speed at the moment, and that's going to double in February.
So this bottle that I have with me says 5 ml 10 doses. What does that mean? So 10 different people can get from one of these little
That's
vials?
right, and you've got to use that up in 4 or 5 hours because once you open the vial, it's got an expiry. It has to be used in one session, which means that in 4 or 5 hours you should, once you've opened it, consume the 10 doses, which is fine and normal. We do that for a lot of our vaccines in the past.
So Adar, what's this place that we're entering right now?
So this is the filling line where we have to gown up, as you can see, and please put on your gloves and other protective gear. This is where the vaccine is actually being filled.
So the place that we're going into right now, Adar, is a facility that no media crew has ever been into?
Yes, I think that's safe to say that nobody is filmed inside the filling areas, and that's where we're going in, so you can have a look.
Delighted that we can get a sense firsthand of how these vaccines are made.
Now we can go through. This is an airlock where till one door is closed, the other door doesn't open.
So this is the most important room in the entire facility?
Yes, absolutely. So,
And he's the chief scientist who's leading this process?
yes, this is Umesh, and he can explain to you how this is filled, how it's on an automated line where the vials are washed with a high pressure water jet going into it. Then it is sterilized through a tunnel at 200 degrees, and then it's ready to receive the product. So that it goes into a container which is so clean and sterilized that there's nothing else that can contaminate the product.
So Adar, I want to spend some time talking about the safety of the vaccines that you're producing. Now the biggest concern world over is how safe is not just the Serum Institute vaccine, all the vaccines that are being made. People are really petrified about the consequences of vaccines that have been manufactured so quickly.
So as you can see, these are fully automated lines. Groninger, Bosch, a lot of manufacturers use German and Belgium and other European automated manufacturers where the vials are washed at high speed, then they're heated at a very high temperature going through this tunnel that you can see in front of you, and then after that it's filled. So the containers in which the vaccine lands up in is very clean, and then of course you saw how it was being screened and checked for all particulate matter to ensure the highest levels of safety. And we have tried to remove human intervention as much as possible, so that as you can see over here, you can only put your hand in with a glove through these openings here. This is an isolator line, so that you never come into contact. No human being ever comes into contact. As you can see, you put your hand through a glove, so you won't come into contact with the product directly.
So you're talking about the cleanliness of the manufacturing process. My concerns are more about the side effects after someone's actually
Yes.
got the vaccine.
So, whether it's a chimperinovirus or a killed virus, live attenuated virus, different technologies that different vaccine manufacturers are working on, there are bound to be some side effects. That's the case with pneumonia vaccines, measles vaccines, rotavirus vaccines. But this should not, alarm us in any way that vaccines are unsafe or, you're going to get sick. A very small percentage of people react badly to vaccines, but there's nothing to be worried about.
So what are the typical side effects if somebody gets your vaccine?
Little fever, little headache, little sore throat maybe, but that lasts for about 2 days and you take a paracetamol and that goes away. That's been proven in thousands of people globally now who have taken our vaccine, and no severe side effects beyond that have been noticed.
But you also had this one case, Adar, of one person in your trial who claimed after he got the vaccine he had severe side effects. He then sued you for 5 crore rupees in Chennai.
No, see, after investigation of these cases, it was concluded by the health minister and the principal investigators also that these were non-vaccine related issues that that individual had. There were some other incidences abroad also where it was clearly ruled out that after a few weeks, you know, someone developed some issue, and it was clearly not vaccine related. Everybody has concluded that, and the final report has also been concluded on that matter.
No, but the apprehension for those who are the naysayers or the vaccine skeptics is that there is just so much money riding on the idea of coming up with a vaccine and rolling out this project, that even if some side effects are being seen, even if there is some pushback because of the vaccine, people will pepper over it. Hide it under the carpet ki boss ab roll out karo, jaldi karo, jaldi karo.
No, we've got the highest level of vigilance with the Drug Controller of India, which is monitoring any side effect, no matter how small or big it is, and we are ensuring that no risk to human life is going to be there as a rollout of these vaccines, which is definitely happening at a rapid pace, which is required, and we need to be united in this. You know, it can't just be that a manufacturer takes the risk. Even the public have to have some faith and understand that this is required, because until we vaccinate everybody, nobody is safe.
No, but you put out a statement saying the government should indemnify pharma companies that are manufacturing these vaccines from lawsuits, and people are saying, hey, if I take Adar's vaccine and something happens to me, why should Adar be indemnified?
Correct. Good question. So let me put that in the right context. I mentioned that this is something the government can look at, because even in the US and other countries, we're looking at these laws being invoked by the government to protect manufacturers only during the time of a pandemic where a massive rollout of vaccines is going to happen. And as a result, you know, there are bound to be some bona fide and non-bona fide cases. And if we see the courts intervening and stopping vaccination programs pending investigations, that's the real risk that we're talking about, and we don't want that to happen. To protect the government programs from being paused or looked at, if you remember, there were some incidences where the trial was stopped for about a month when there was a case abroad. And you know, that really puts us on a back step in being able to reach the target of being able to vaccinate that critical mass in a population to build up that immunity that is required. So these lawsuits have the ability to slow down and delay these campaigns, which is the only reason why we suggested to the government that perhaps only during the pandemic rollout of these vaccines, indemnity should be granted to the vaccine manufacturers.
So these are the vials. Where are you getting these for? Are these Indian? Is this Indian glass?
Yes, this is bought from a company called Kaisha, which has the highest quality standards. We've been using them for a lot.
Because I was reading that one of the
vials.
concerns is that given the number of vaccines we need to manufacture, we may simply not have the amount of glass required or the production capability required to manufacture so many vials.
So this is a company called Shot Kaisha, which is a collaboration between my friend Kairas Dadachandji's company and the German counterpart, where the glass is imported and made in India both, and these vials are made in Daman. So we import these, and then these glass vials, as you can see, are being washed at a high-speed line here before.
So what's happening? Keep explaining to us what's happening here right now.
As you can see, which you already shot on the other side, is the washing has taken place.
That's the washing?
Yes. And then it gets fed into the tunnel over here. where it's heated.
What happens inside the tunnel?
It's heated at 200 degrees, so that anything inside that may or may not be there is destroyed before the product comes into contact with the glass vial.
They're decontaminating the vial.
Correct, correct.
And the good thing is that there is no human touching the vial at all.
You can see these are all barriers. The human beings here are only there as a precaution if some part of the automation here needs tweaking, changing, to be stopped or checked or whatever. So it's all automated. You have someone loading it in here, someone picking it up at the other end. So there's no human intervention here at all.
Adar, can you give us a sense of what's happening currently?
No, so as you can see, after it's filled, you have the rubber stoppers that are put on it, and then there are the seals over here, aluminium seals that you can see, that are capped and sealed. So that's the end stage of the product before it goes in for the screening. Again, even this step, which used to be manual back in the day, is now fully automated. So we again minimize the human contact with the product. In fact, there is no human contact with the product till it's all sealed and closed.
How do your safety and technical standards compare with the Pfizer's or the Moderna's?
Absolutely the same. We have the same equipment ordered from Germany, Europe, US. Even the glass that we import sometimes is from there. The rubber stoppers are from Belgium and Holland. You've got chemicals coming in from Denmark. So everything is actually on that standard. The only cost advantage we have is the manpower cost and the energy cost. But apart from that, all the capex, opex, everything is imported. So this is very important to understand. So the quality is the same as any European or US manufacturer now. For example, this machine is Groninger, is from Groninger in Germany.
So you're saying that typically, as far as you're concerned, and in the way that you see it, the production facilities and standards are the same as, say, as Pfizer?
Identical.